Yo, what's up? This is Kira, and you're watching Psychopath Exposure. If you've stumbled upon this video, thank you. I hope you stick around. We're going to be talking about narcissists and psychopaths today. Going to be doing a Q&A question and answer Q&A. You know what that means. So for those of you that are been here, that are leave comments from time to time, I like to read them on camera and give you my improvised take and feedback. So this one comes from, don't even know what this is, HSC, I don't know, subhash. YouTube has a way of ruining this name. So anyway, I'm just going to flash that on the screen so you can check it out. So he says, "Hey Kira, my ex-narc put up a story saying the dog I gifted her 4 years back is up for adoption. I was broken, absolutely gutted. I found out later it's all a lie. She put the story to only select people who know me, indirectly forcing me to talk to her. Is this hoovering?" Well, hoovering is a term that came from the vacuum cleaner, and it's been linked to narcissistic abuse. And so naturally, we're going to talk about it here because if you don't use the key words, then you fall behind. It's unfortunate we have to use these type of words. But yeah, hoovering. They basically want to see what's going on. They can weasel their way back in, find a way to talk to you somehow, find a way to get to know what's going on with you, where you're at. They, kind of like to gauge where you're at in your life. And like the vacuum cleaner, it sucks you back. Vacuum cleaner sucks, right? Sucks. So they try to suck you back in. That's what that means. I hope that answers your question. I think this was probably the worst explanation of hoovering that I've done in my entire career. Here in the Psychopath Exposure Show, welcome. Please subscribe. So I told this gentleman, whatever it is, it's ridiculously toxic and unnecessary. It was a trap. How did that conversation end for you? Now, I normally don't like to read my own replies to my own comments. I know how cringe that is, so I apologize. Please drop a like in the video if you liked the fact that I read my own comment. But I did it anyway because, whether it's hoovering or not, I find this type of behavior distasteful. So she's putting up a story to only select people who know you. There's intention behind that. There's intention behind that because she wants somehow she somehow wants this information to get back to you, right? God forbid she tells you directly. I mean, I don't know the dynamic of your relationship, my friend. It says here you gifted her that dog 4 years ago. I don't know. Have you guys been broken up 4 years for 4 years now? When was the last time you guys have spoken? I don't know where you stand in this relationship, so I don't want to make too many assumptions here, but it sounds to me like you're obviously not together. So thanks for replying back a few days ago, and you said, after watching most of your content, I realized that it was rage bait, and she wanted me to react and get something out of it. I simply didn't respond. Whoa. Okay, well then that changes things. All right, that changes things. So rage bait. That's kind of like that thing called reactive abuse, where the psychopath or the narcissist is going to push you beyond your limits because they want you to react so that they can catch you on camera having a freaking out of control, out of body experience, and then they can call the cops and say, look, this person's crazy, or they'll put you on the internet, right? And that's basically what happens. And yeah, it's up to you to control your emotions. It's up to you to not let things like this provoke you to the point that you pass the point of no return, because then the narcissist wins. Now the narcissist has leverage on you. So you never want to let that happen. So I appreciate that you made the decision not to respond. I can imagine it must have been difficult to stay quiet. Believe me, I know. But good job on you, right? Great job on you to not respond. I am curious, since this comment came about a week ago almost. What happened since you didn't respond? Has she continued trying to get your attention somehow? Has she reached out? What's going on with the dog? Look, I can imagine how hard it is to hear that she's giving the dog away. But if you guys are not together, it's for a reason. And unfortunately, and this happens, you don't have to be dating a narcissist for this, but like when you're getting a divorce, like that's what happens. Like the pets, what do you do with the pets, right? I know a friend of mine had two dogs when he got divorced, and it's like he kept one dog and the ex-wife kept the other one. But now you know who suffers more? The dogs, because the dogs are just missing their little buddy. So it really sucks when things come to an end like that, and especially when they come to an end in such a bad way. Because although I don't condone people should stay friends after a divorce or anything like that, it always feels good to know if that you can stay. What's that word I'm looking for? I don't know if friendly is the word, but just on civil, good terms. Like you guys don't hate each other. Um, that's the best possible solution, I think, when you split with someone, where you're not going to be calling each other, you're not going to be sending each other Christmas cards, but you're not trying to destroy each other's lives. So if something's going on with the dog, they could shoot you a text, if they need your help with something. And it's not a Hoover. It's not manipulation to try to suck you back in or to get you to pay, right? And give them like $500 or anything like that. It's, you know, that dog belonged to you too. And you have every right to know what's going on. But when you're dealing with a narcissist and a highly toxic individual, they use their pets against you. They use your kids against you, you know? They use your own children as leverage, as a bargaining tool, as a control mechanism. That's what they do. That's what that's what proves to you and everybody that's watching this that can relate with this. That's what proves that these toxic individuals don't have a soul. If they can use their own children and their pets as leverage and as a form of manipulation, as a bargaining tool, like whoa, like what kind of a monster are you? Are you dead inside? Do you even have a heart? Do you even have a soul? Like who would do that? Well, who would do that? The individuals we like to dissect in this channel. That's who. And we cut deep sometimes, let me tell you. We cut deep. So good on you for not responding to that. Let me ask you a question. How did you handle keeping those intense emotions that you obviously had to bottle up? How did you manage that? Did you consult with a close friend? Did you go out with a friend and like have a few drinks and you were just screaming? Did you talk to your parents? Are you in therapy? Are you the type that journals? Are you the type that goes to the gym and just unleashes that energy, that you go for a run, that you do some intense cardio, right? You do some boxing, some martial arts. Like how did you manage that? Because this type of shit ain't easy to keep in check, ladies and gentlemen. When you know that your narcissist ex is purposely trying to provoke you and purposely putting things on the internet that only your friends can see, and it's obviously directed at you because it has something to do with you that everybody knows has something to do with you, and they're going to see it and they're going to be like, damn, that's dirty. Like, did you hear that so and so is saying this about you or doing this? Like, did you, like that's pretty effed up. Like putting your dog up for adoption, like somebody that knows you and knows that dog is going to be like, yo, Yo, did you hear? She's giving the dog away, bro. You may not even want to know that, but then you hear about it from a third party and it breaks your heart and you're like, what? Yeah. That's what these monsters do. That's why we call them monsters. It just, what else? What else can you say? Like, who would do something like that? And and I can tell you, if you go down my catalog, there's more atrocious things that these horrible, horrible people do, can do, have done, and will continue to do because they don't have a soul. But I am sorry to hear. I hope things work out with your dog, man. I really do. But let me know. Let us all. Drop me a comment. Let me know how you handle that, or if you've got my email, shoot me an email. I'm really curious how you did that, because once you involve, I love dogs. I know some people are cat people, but I think dogs are, dogs are better than cats. I said it. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? I said it, right? So you talk about a dog like that, it's like, nah, man, you don't mess around like that. So I don't know. Let me know what's going on, guys, and thanks for sharing. Thanks for getting back. Thanks for responding, and most of all, thank you for not doing something stupid that would have gotten you in trouble, and then you have to come here and say, oh, I did this, and now she's got a restraining order, and then you just complicated your life and you fell for the trap because, like you said, rage bait, right? I'm glad you didn't take the bait. I'm glad, and I'm glad because I get to read something like this, and other people that are watching that are probably like, yeah, that bitch used to rage bait me too, Yeah, they're gonna read that, right? That's right. And what did you do? You didn't take the bait. You didn't take the bait. So for you gentlemen that are listening, you don't have to take the bait. You don't have to take the bait. You're not gonna be any lesser of a man. Right? You have to understand that these are traps. Okay? These traps are laid out for you to fall or walk right into them. That's what a trap is for. Traps are not laid out for decoration. Traps are laid out for people to stumble upon them and get trapped. Like a bear trap, right? It's intended for the bear, right, to step on it and get trapped, and then the hunter can come and finish the job. Or, if you play Friday the 13th, Jason, you had traps, so you can set traps, and then the counselors would step on them, and then if you were playing as Jason, you can come and take them out. But that was a long time ago, and that game got canceled. That's what a shame. All right, well, I forgot the camera was still on, but I'm glad you guys are still around. Thanks for sticking around to the very end. I'm going to suggest you watch this clever video. It's not flashing on the screen yet, but it will in just a second. This is a video of what the narcissists do when they know that you know, and how to overcome that, and what steps you need to take to not let them continue to manipulate you. Because once they know that you know, it's not like they just leave. They up the game. But I'm not going to give away all the spoilers just yet. There it is. Check it out right now. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. My name is Kita. Thanks for watching. This is Psychopath Exposure. Like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.